Hello, everyone. Let's have a look at the formula of ifs, if, ifs, and nested if. So let's look at the first formula, which will be a pretty straightforward one, saying if the value of this is equal to Vishal, but of course it's coming on the quote, then you give me back as good boy. That's it. We are not defining the false. We are just doing the true. So in this case, it will come as false because there's no value over here. But in case if I write Vishal over here, it will say good boy. If I write Ona over here, it will say false. If I say Luna, it will say false because it has been defined only for Vishal. So it helps in getting the derived value. In this case, we are saying if it is Vishal, then get me good boy. The next scenario, let's just see if this value is equal to, I'm giving false also this time, Vishal, then good boy, or else mark it as empty cell, right? So now it will show as good boy because it's here as Vishal. So if I remove this, it gives me empty cell because anything else apart from Vishal, it will give me empty cell. Even if I write Puna over here, even if I write Luna over here, but if I write Vishal, it will give me good boy. Now let's go on to the third set of it. Show you the formula once again. That's the formula. That's the first one. So the next formula would be if, now I'm giving a reference over here. If this cell is equal to this cell, then give me this cell, right? So please note you will need to add dollar sign if you want to fix the cells based on your requirement of row or column. Accordingly, you will be adding dollar signs. So in this case, we are having a fixed cells, which is G2 and H2. So we'll just go ahead and add the dollar sign to them. I'm sorry, G2, I'm sorry, H2 and G2. We'll add dollar sign, right? So if the value is true, it will come as H2. If not, then nothing is there. Okay, so I'm typing the false value over here. But next we'll go and see what more we can do with this. But for now, this is if B2 is equal to G2 in dollars, then give me H2 in dollars. Or else, if it's false, then give me nothing in there. Right? So right now it will give me good boy because it's been written good boy out there. So in this case, if I change this to uh, any other this thing, so let's say kill, it will change the word to kill because it is looking for H2 as the true value, right? So in case of true, it will give me H2. Now, in case if I change this to Pona, it will change to nothing is there because that's what we have kind of defined out there. Nothing is there. Even if it's Luna, it will do the same thing. But if it's Vishal, it will give me H2 value of this, right? The third formula. So here's the formula once again. Moving on, we will see for the nested formula, right? So if this is equal to this, then give me this. If the value is true, then give me H2. Please note, I will need to mark out the dollar signs in this, right? Otherwise, I'll lose it later on. Going ahead, if not, if the value is false, then I'd add one more if over here and recheck it with the next formula. And that is if B2 is equal to G3, then give me H3. Again, the dollar sign has to come in place for this. right? And comma, if, again, the last one, this B2 is equal to, you cannot see it, but it's G4, sorry, is equal to G4. Again, I'll give it right away. And if it is true, then please go and take up with H4, right? Just will be bracket close. Now I need to close one. Even if I close one or four or all of them, all the brackets, it's perfectly fine. Even if I don't, Excel will come back and tell me, do you want to close the bracket? And I'll say yes, right? So you can just say accept the correction and say yes, it will add all the brackets over there, closing brackets. So now in this formula, what we have done is we have said if this value is equal to this, then give me this. If this value is equal to this, then give me this. If this value is equal to this, then give me this. Now, if I type Luna over here, it should give me lost boy. If I type Una over here, it will give me bad boy. But if I type Vishal, it will give me good boy. Right? So this is basically your nested formula. Why is it nested? Because one formula is nested into another. It's lying in the root of some other formula. That's why. So in this case, we have given the false value as one more if. And for that if, again, the false value has been given as one more if, right? It will execute in going from left to right. So first it will execute the first condition, then the second, then the third. And if it does not get anything, then it will give an error, or it will just give the last one if that is the only one which is matching, right? I think I had told this before also, in case if you want to see this, formulas, evaluate formulas, this can give you help in this. All right, the fifth case. Let's take the fifth case of ifs. If we are using IFS ifs, then same thing. The only thing different in if and ifs is that you don't have to mention the false value, and you can just continue with the logical test and the value of true. Logical test and the value of true. Logical test and the value of true. So first things first, we will say B2 is equal to G2. G2 would be in dollars, comma, H2, again, dollar. Next, it starts out with the next logical test. That is B2 is equal to G3 for H3, F4. Next is B2 is equal to G4, F4, H3, F4. Right? That should take care of my formula. So over here, again, what we have done is we are not describing if there is a false value. We are assuming that it would be there, and it becomes easier to manage this formula, if IFS formula, because it is easier to approach rather than going for if and adding the false value all the time. So there you go, good boy. And now if I add Luna, if I add Luna, it changes the values accordingly. Right, so here's the formula once again for you. Ifs nested with false as hard coded and rest everything is value dependent, with both false and true as hard coded. Also, the validation or the logical test itself is hard coded to Vishal. And over here, it is only the true value and not the false. So now you have seen all the five types of ifs that we can have. The only thing to be added in this is that you need to ensure that you are doing the dollar signs wherever the cell values are going to remain the same, because if you copy and paste it down, the values will not get pasted down, because now if you see it is looking for something in the blank, it is not finding, and that's why it is saying NA, right? So in this case, because it was an example, this is okay, but usually this is the reference where we are taking it from stays in dollar sign. That's what I have done over here. All right, so that's pretty much it for this particular formulas.